Anybody who wears anything, if you are working on something, if I'm working in my dress shirt, and if I'm working under a car, do you think my shirt will be tucked in? No, it will not be because I'm working, right? But what does Sophie focus on? Sophie focuses on the worldly things. Everything has to be perfect in her world. So her mother also has to be perfect. She doesn't look at that it is evening, mother is tired, she has these dirty dishes piled up for everybody in the family, there is no help. But she doesn't want to go and help her. Rather, what does she observe? So it's like you see what you are. There is an idea. You see people as you are. We have discussed this before. You observe people based on your thinking in your head. You don't observe people based on what is needed, what is there, what is in the present moment. The delicate seeming bow and the crooked back, the evening had already blacked in. Windows and small room was steamy from the stove and cluttered with heavy breathing man in his vest at the table. So mom's back was also crooked. So mom is old. She needs help indirectly, but Sophie doesn't go to her. The evening had already black, so the sun had maybe set and it was dark. In the windows and small room, they don't have a very big house, and that is why dad said, "Thank you very much. If you ever come into money, buy us a blessed, decent house." Right? And then the guy was sitting in the between, cluttered. Cluttered means filled with clothes and everything over there. Yesterday we tried and see, we tried to watch a video, we'll see it, if there is something that we can understand from how the room looks like. The evening had already blacked in the windows and the small room was steamy from the stove. So they didn't even have a proper ventilation. Now the problem with us is we have everything. We have a nice bed, but our hostel bed will also come and bite at us. Oh, there is no AC. There is no window near my room. Oh, this is not there. But if you go to any government hostel, you will come to know how the case is. But you have not been there, so you don't appreciate. Or you are not in such a family, so you don't appreciate a room of your own or a bed of your own. A heavy breathing man. The heavy breathing man is Sophie's dad. And he's sitting in his vest. Vest is the banyan. At the table. And dirty washing piled up. Now dirty washing has piled up. But what does Sophie want to observe? The incongruity. The movement of the apron not worn properly by her mother. Because it has shifted sideways because she is working on cleaning the dishes. Sophie felt a tightening in her throat. She wanted to say something. Mom, why don't you get a house help? Or, Mom, at least understand, at least know how do you need to wear an apron. At least understand that open the windows. She wanted to say, comment more things about her mother or to her mother. But she could not say that, because if she would say that, mother would get back to her maybe in a nice way and say, rather than talking about all of that, come and help me with the vessels, come and help me with the cleaning. But she would not say that, so she felt a in her throat and went away. She went to look for her brother Geoff. Now a new character is added. You can also call him Jeff, or you can call him Geoff. I like to call him Geoff. Geoff sounds better.
He was kneeling on the floor in the next room, tinkering with a part of his motorcycle over some newspaper spread on the carpet. He was three years out of school, an apprentice mechanic traveling to his work each day to the far side of the city.
So now do you see, we have studied Lost Spring, do you see a connect between Geoff and Mukesh? Right? Both are from poor families. So this guy, when you graduate from high school, aren't you supposed to go to university? Aren't you? Your parents try your best. Why are we here in this school? Your parents are trying, but you want to sleep in the class. You don't want to pay attention. You don't want to understand their perspective. They want you to go to a university. But if being wherever you are, you don't study, you don't show that you have the potential, or you don't want to work hard, what will happen? In India also there are apprentice schools. They are called ITIs, not IITs. Industrial Training Institute. There is right one near Kamrej over here. You can go there. You can become a plumber. You can become an electrician. In fact, right now these fields are highly paid because people don't want to do small work. AC technicians, motor mechanics. There are schools. What are they called? ITS. You can go to those schools just after 10th standard. Just say thank you to your parents that they are doing whatever they have to go in life to send you to a good school. So let's come to this guy, Geoff. It tells us about their family. It is not a high class family. He was kneeling on the floor in the next room. There was a next room and tinkering, mending, repairing, doing something with his part of a motorcycle, maybe a carburetor or something. And there is newspaper. Now what are carburetors? What are spark plugs? You may know a little bit, but you don't know. And then this is a science class, and some of them want to become a mechanical engineer. You will learn all of this. Or at least master the fundamentals, physics, chemistry, math. With a part of his motorcycle over the newspaper spread on the carpet. Why had he spread the newspaper? So that the oil and the dirt and the grime does not spoil the carpet. When you read something, this is literature. But my dear friend, if you read physics, chemistry or economics or business studies or whatever subject, if you read it in details, then you can visualize the words. But what do? We just read the lines and go forward. We have to ask questions. Why was the newspaper on the carpet? Because he was playing with a motorcycle part. And the motorcycle part could have oil, dust, grime, debris, and all of that could go in the carpet. So that is why you put paper. When you paint the walls, why do you put paper on the floor? So that the floor does not get dirty. So everything has a meaning. But generally, what do? We just read and we go forward. I'm doing a detailed reading for you over here so that you don't have to do it again. But then if you learn this skill on your own, then any subject is not far from your reach. But that is the problem with right now. Nobody wants to read in detail, visualize. Coming back to the point, he was 3 years out of school. How many? 3. Could not go to a university, maybe for any reason. Maybe he did not have a good school, good teachers like you. Nobody going into detail. Nobody asking them to do the things that are required. And and maybe they did not have money. They are from a middle class family. And that is why he is 3 years out of school and he did not go to a university. He goes to a mechanic and learns, and he is a mechanic. He's an apprentice mechanic, and he's not a full-time mechanic also. He's a trainee mechanic. Traveling to his work each day to the far side of the city. So the mechanic shop is not in the city but the other side of the city, and he goes down there every day.
He was almost grown up now, and she suspected areas of his life about which she knew nothing, about which he never spoke. He said little at all, ever voluntarily. Words had to be prized out of him like stones out of the ground.
Okay, so he was almost grown up now. So he's elder brother, so he's grown up. And she suspected areas of his life about which she knew nothing about, which he never spoke. Now, as a little girl, I would not want to say this on the record, but you are stupid if you sometimes take your sisters with your friends. It is not right. If you have to go out with your sister, how do you go? You go out alone on your own. And then you want to talk about big things in life. You don't even have basic common sense. Sometimes you say, okay, my brother's sister, can you introduce me to her? What about the master's degree? What about having goals in life? You're stupid. You don't even know how the world works. But what she wanted to do? She wanted Geoff to take him out with his friends whenever he went out. Why? She felt like she had to travel. Otherwise, what she should be doing? She should be studying. She should be helping her mother. Vice versa. If your sister's friends are going out, even as a brother, you should not go out with them. It is basic common sense, but the common sense is going away from the common people these days. And that is an important part, and that is one of the reasons why we cannot study in this modern world. You may think, sorry, I am old fashioned, but it is not that. It is about doing and focusing on the things that you should be doing. So she suspected areas of his life which she knew nothing about, and she wanted to go out with him when he goes out. And he never spoke about them. And we'll know why he never speaks to Sophie. It is not that he does not want to speak to Sophie, but if he speaks to Sophie too much, she will keep coming back to him again and again and take away his time. Sophie should be doing things on his own. He is doing things on his own. He said little at all ever. So people sometimes says voluntary. So people sometimes says in the text that he was an introvert. That is not the case. People who have goals, people who have something meaningful to do in their lives, they speak less. And they speak less especially when it is not needed. But the case with us is we want to talk all day. And if we are talking about something meaningful, that again is helpful. But generally we talk about things that are not meaningful. Our conversations rotate around the things that are not meaningful. And that is why yesterday we had taken an example. A person could design and build a rocket launcher on his way back from Russia because he had filled his mind with knowledge. But what is our mind filled with? Who won the match last night? Who scored more? And where was there rain over there? Or you figure out things, or what's for lunch today? And that is where our thoughts are. So if the thoughts are there, what are we going to do? We are going to be able to do nothing. Chalo.
And she was jealous of his silence.
She was jealous of his silence. Why? Because if he speaks, then he has to take her wherever he goes. But should you be jealous of somebody's silence? No, you're seeing the person is working. But this is how Sophie thinks. Sometimes if a person works hard, we are jealous of that hard-working person. Why? We don't want to work hard. We just want to look at him. But if we start working hard, the very same thing that person is working on or you are jealous about, you will be able to do. But the problem is again recipe of success. We don't want to imitate the good things that people are doing. We just want to be jealous of them. And sometimes we are jealous about stupid things. Like here, she is jealous about the brother's silence. It's a stupid thing. You could be jealous about somebody's clothes, somebody's motorcycle, somebody's car. But then, rather being jealous, why not work on yourself? The easiest way to get to the next thing that you want to work on is to work on yourself. But that is the problem. And we know from the beginning, Sophie, does she want to work on herself? I'm not saying don't become a fashion designer. Can you get into a design school? Yes or no? If you have talent, you draw up designs, you do things, you learn the art and go to a design school. No is saying no. But she doesn't want to, she can think like that. But why? Because she thinks about only the big things. So words had to be prized out of him. Means like, you had to force, you had to nudge him. So now you will come to know, she nudges Geoff to speak. And generally there is a technique. There are people in the world who have figured out techniques. They don't have sometimes questions, but they don't want to ask because they want to make sure that they are noticed. So over here, the easiest way is to ask people what they know to start a conversation. To ask people what they know about their field, their life, and you start a conversation. But are you trying to get that information to helping you make better? If not, then that conversation is invalid. Rather, you should be working on your own. So over here, because Geoff does not speak enough, what will Jency do? She will start a conversation about something that Geoff is interested in. Something about football. Something about football players, like we all are. And then that will prod or force Geoff to speak. He doesn't want to. He's busy. But she makes sure, she uses a technique, and this is what all silly people do. They want to talk to other people, so they ask silly questions or they They want to make their conversation interesting. They just go to a person and say, "What about this?" And then they ask that silly thing, and then because the person is interested, they start the small talk. Chal.
When he wasn't speaking, it was as though he was away somewhere, out there in the world, in those places she had never been.
She wants to be where he goes. Is it a good idea? No, it's not a good idea. And mind well, I'm on the record. Keep your sisters away from your friends. Don't go out with your sisters. Don't. Stupid. Shameless. Coming back to the point. So, she wanted to know where he goes. You're stupid. Downright stupid. Chalo.
Whether they were only the outlying districts of the city or places beyond in the surrounding country.
Are bhaiya, he is an apprentice mechanic. He goes to work outside the city. Do you think he goes to another country when he goes for work? Do you think he can skip work and get earn money for the family and skip work and go for a movie? But what is she thinking? She is thinking outlying districts of the city or places beyond the surrounding country. Like as if he is going to the next nation when he is going to work. Why does a person think like this? When the person doesn't understand that they have to remain in the present moment, or they have to do things for themselves, or they have to work on goals they set and take action to achieve them. So for here, I'm not saying she should not go to a design school. But she does not want to. She wants to look at Geoff. Does she dream of becoming an apprentice motorcycle mechanic? No. So is spending too much time with Geoff going to help her? Doesn't mean that she should not spend time with the brother in the house. But too much is not good for her. She has to do something on her own. But she thinks that he might be going to a special place out there with his friends and he is not taking her, which is very bad. They attained a special fascination simply because they were unknown to her. Because it was not known, because Geoff would not say. And what would Geoff say? Do you think his boss would allow him to skip work and go somewhere? Do you think he would even get a lot of time to eat lunch while repairing the motorcycle? Do you think such people have time in the world to do things? Or the money? Or the luxuries to travel? No. But she thinks of things like that. Why? And that is my dear friend, the part which brings us all sadness. This is in Hindi बोलते हैं खुद के पैर पे कुहाड़ी मारना. You want to do things in life and you want to sleep in the class. You want to do things in life and you don't want to work on it. You want to do things in life and you just think and not do. And that is what Sophie wants to do. If you want to, they say, if you want to become a scientist, you spend your time with the scientists. And that is why you go to a good university. Yes or no? The good professors are the to be scientists. Yes or no? If you want to become a businessman, spend time with some great businessman. Sir, how do I? You can read books. But we have not done that throughout our life. Some of you in the science class, they say, I want to become like a scientist. How many biographies of scientists have you read? People say, no, I will go to university and I want to be with a physical person who is a scientist. That doesn't happen. Not all the time. But we have not learned all of that. Why we have not learned all of that? Because we are stupid focus on the things that we What's the next lunch dish? What's the next breakfast? When is the vacation? What do I do in vacation? Think about vacation when you think about vacation. Right now, do what you have to do. Present moment. And that brings us sadness. So, reading so much, we never had time. Everybody has time. You are an average of the 5 people you keep company with. We have talked about this many different times. You spend time with 5 stupid people, they're donkeys, you become a donkey. You become a donkey. That is why you have to change and make sure you focus on your goals, which Sophie does not want to do over here. Jancy is practical. And that, of course, has to remain out of reach. Your seniors are going to go to college this year. Will they take you to college this year? No, you have to wait. You have to go next year. Everything has its time. She can grow up and go out with Jancy if she earns money. But do you think even she will work at the biscuit factory with the things that she is thinking about? No. No, she doesn't have the attitude. She doesn't understand the practicality of life. She just wants things like that. And that is the problem with all teenagers. Chalo.
Perhaps there were also people, exotic, interesting people of whom he never spoke. It was possible, though he was white and didn't make new friends easily.
Like his friends were the guys out there of billionaires. Can you imagine? Like his friends were the IPL cricket stars. Like his friends were the business tycoons' sons and daughters. Do you think he will have such friends? Why he will not have such friends? Because he's a common child. Yes or no? But what does she think? Because she thinks at that level and does not take any action. She feels everybody is at that level only. See, mother, she thought, why has she not made her up? Why is she not wearing a beautiful dress? Why is the apron strings on the side not congruent? Why she's washing vessels. She's not out there at a party. For Sophie, everything is party mode. Like if you wake up in the morning also, you should be like well dressed. Is that possible? No, you have bad hair. You have bad breath when you wake up. And if you don't brush your teeth, you are not hygienic. Some of you don't even comb your hair. And then you have big dreams. I'm not saying comb your hair and keep big hair and all of that. But at least be groomed. So that is the problem with the world. Chalo.
She longed to know them.
She longed to know his friends. Yeah, anything special out there?
She wished she could be admitted more deeply into her brother's affections and that someday he might take her with him.
This I made clear, right? She wants to go out with... Again, if she just goes out with her brother, any problem? No problem. But if she goes out with her brother's friends, big problem. Pratham order. And you want to do big things in life, you are not going to be able to do it. Forget about it. Forget. When you are young, you can spend time. When you grow big, you need to have your own goals. Even if there are two brothers, both the brothers need to have different set goals and they have to work on it. But that's the problem with us. We think about the things not that practically.
Though their father forbade it, and Geoff had never expressed an opinion, she knew he thought her too young.
Yes, of course. I've laid this down, right? And if your family also allows, sorry not to comment on your family is stupid. You should not. સ્વામીજીનો પ્રસંગ છે. શું પ્રસંગ છે? What is the પ્રસંગ? The chappal thing તો ઠીક છે. There are many. But we don't understand that, and we want to do things in life. We will not be able to. Forget about it. Chalo. Fathers would also not allow it. And if they, then you have to make sure you should not. Somebody will say we are ancient. No, we are not ancient. We need to get work done for ourselves. Chalo.
And she was impatient. She was conscious of a vast world out there waiting for her, and she knew instinctively that she would feel as at home there as in the city which had always been her home.
So she thought that there is a vast world, and she wanted to travel to other countries with Geoff or with her family. And I told you, travel is not for common people because it takes money, and she always thinks about the rich things. You always think about travel is natural. You imagine if you are going to take your parents to travel sometimes this vacation, check if they can afford it or not. That money could be used for paying your fees. But we don't realize that. Then we force them. In the next shoe you want to buy, pair of shoes you want to buy, or the shirt, if they can afford, no problem. But sometimes you don't even know whether they can afford or not. So she thinks she wants to travel the world. Yeah. Everybody has a dream. I have a dream, travel the world. But can everybody travel the world? Or should that be the dream? Some people say, oh, I'll become a freelancer YouTuber and I will travel the world. Try one time. Try taking a ride one time. It all looks good on the video. It all looks good on the video, and everything that is made on video is all edited. You know, there are 10 cuts that they make and join the video. But you feel like this guy is having a nice time in their Instagram reel. Those who publish videos, do you think it is on the spur natural video? No. They take 10,000 cuts and then join that together and show that Aman is having a very great life. And then Prajwal sir will feel jealous about Aman because he's having a very good life. There are 10,000 cuts and they join it. And that is why movies are not real. But she is living in which world? The movie world. Where she wants to travel the world. And with her brother, big brother. And as friends and everybody. Not a good idea. So she was conscious of a vast world out there waiting for her, and she knew instinctively that she would feel at home. The world will all be her home. भाई जो करना है करना, भैया पढ़ाई करना, वो नहीं करना है, वर्ल्ड घूमना है. हमारे भी ये जो है, पढ़ाई नहीं करना है, IPL देखना है, पढ़ाई नहीं करना है, गेम्स खेलना है, पढ़ाई नहीं करना है, मोबाइल चाहिए, पढ़ाई नहीं करना है. And there are enough people out there in the world who will say, अरे AI is taking over, पढ़ाई का क्या ज़रूरत है? The universities will be all closed in 10 years. Do you know anything? Knowledge is important. Doing things is important. If you don't come to school, we close the school, what will you do at home? What will you do? Play with the mobile phone? No, sir, I am going to be the serial killer. I am going to start the next $1 billion business at home. Or, sir, I am going to contact 5 scientists and start working under them as apprentice. I don't need the basic physics or the chemistry or the mathematics. As if they are going to call you and say, to come work with me. As if you are a genius. Dream world. Movie world. Yes or no? TV serial world. Even if they are brushing teeth in the morning, they are all like wearing beautiful clothes. How come you are wearing beautiful clothes when you are brushing teeth in the morning? You just woken up, your hair is somewhere, your eyes are somewhere. But that is what the movies show. And she wants to be there. And that she would feel at home there as in the city which had always been her home. So even in the world when she travels, she'll feel like she's at home. Why? Because she dreams about all the big things only. Chal.
It expectantly awaited her arrival.
The world waited for her. See? We have this kind of ideas that You know, there's a red carpet for me, and the world's waiting, and there are photographers, and they are going to take my photos from different angles, and I'm going to be on that viral reel or the magazine, and people are going to look at me. Even for the biggest of the biggest people, that those things don't happen. Actually, they hate it. They say, keep away from me. We as young teenagers, we want that. Chalo.
She she saw herself
Now she is also imagining. See that him and Geoff are going together. Chalo.
herself riding there behind Geoff.
Riding a bike behind Geoff. Yes.
He wore new shining black leather.
हाँ हाँ दिल वाले दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे शाहरुख खान ब्लैक लेदर और टॉम क्रूज or whoever the modern day guy is, I don't know. Good you don't see movies, or you don't know about movies, or you know about movies, or I don't know about them. Whoever that is. Yes, he's a hero. And what is Sophie? A heroine. समझ पड़े છે કે નથી પડતી? And that is what we want to become. We want to become heroes. But who is a hero? A hero is who shows up every day to do the things they need to do despite challenges in life. They wake up every day in the morning, they say, okay, this is the grind, this is what I have to do every day, and they do their best in what they have to do. But don't think like their lives are movies. They wake up to their work every single day, even though it is boring, and make it work, because they say make your work your vacation your vacation, and you will never need a vacation. Make your vocation means work, a vacation, and you will always be on vacation. Agree or disagree? If you are doing the work which feels to you, makes you feel like you are on a vacation, then you are always on a vacation. And then the successful people in the world are always on vacation. Does not need that push from somebody to wake up, because the work gives him fuel. It gives him energy. New things, doing new things, finding new things out, making things gives him energy. But for us, what do we want to do? You want to sit, relax, and do nothing. Or think about the biggest of the biggest things and be like them. Like the superhero. Iron Man. I want to fly the world. Why fly behind somebody? If I can become a plane, then I fly the world. I'll design a jet suit with maybe a solar panel on it, and the design is so good that I can fly with the jet suit. These are our dreams. They can come possible, but they don't come possible not doing the work. They come only through work. Chal.
And she a yellow dress.
So this is her imagination. Yes or no? This is her. It is simple. She thinks of Geoff as the hero and her as the heroine. Yes or no? And the brother cannot be hero and the brother cannot be heroine. That is also very bad. But the world has gone haywire. The world has become so bad that I cannot even think and imagine about it. But I don't want to go into that. I've given you the idea. But such imaginations are very bad. Chal.
And she a yellow dress with a kind of cape that flew out behind.
Cape is something that the Superman has behind the back, the chadar. Cape. Hum hawa mein ude. And she sees it. And then the world stands up and claps for them. Wow. The Geoffs and the Jancies of the whatever, the street. That does not happen. Chalo.
There was the sound of applause as the world rose to greet him.
The world rose to greet them. Don't you think this is like a dream? Yes or no? This is a dream, man. This is actually a dream. But she is seeing it live, and that is what? when people see dreams and they are awake in their life, that is called daydreaming, and it is very bad. I don't know, we studied third level. Charlie, what did he do? He daydreamed. You guys are sometimes daydreaming over here, and that is why I ask you to write things down so that you can come back in the present moment. They say past is gone, you cannot work on it. Future, you don't know what's going to happen. So be in the present, get the thing done, my dear friend, in the present. But what do people want to do? They are either too much stuck in the past or they are either too much stuck in the future. Chal.
He sat frowning at the oily component, yet he cradled in his hands, as though it were a small dumb animal, and he was willing it to speak.
So he was working on his motorcycle part and he was so engrossed in it. He was learning. Yes or no? And you will find this in your class also. If you are doing things properly, there may be subtle friends who will come and even in the class they will say, it broke your focus. You'll be working on your mathematics or your business studies or economics or accounts or chemistry, and then somebody will come and say, what are you doing? Or it could be your mind also sometimes. We know about it. And then you give that person the attention. What happened? Your focus is gone. And there will be people like that who come and do that. And that is why we ask you to, in the self-study time, to focus only on yourself. But we can't do that. Because we have goals, but we don't want to meaningfully work on them. And then she wanted Geoff's attention, so she will go towards Geoff and then talk to him. And she will talk to him about what he likes and he'll speak. She is smart in that way. And then that is how people keep talking all day long on not meaningful things. So he was very focused, working, frowning, trying to figure things out on the motorcycle component, whatever it was, the carburetor or whatever. He was working on it, trying to figure out, as if he was like so engrossed, talking to some part which is alive. Yes or no? And when somebody is like that, should we go and bother them? We should allow them to work. No, they are focused. At least you are not focused. Allow them to work. But she was jealous. Jealous of him working. Sometimes we are jealous of stupid things. I am jealous of you been working all day. No, I should not be. Oh, he's working all day. Awesome that. I need to learn that from him. He is working all day. I need to start working and the jealousy will be gone. But we don't want to do that. We want to bother other people. So we want to make friends with like-minded people. So somebody is interested in some part of the school, some people outside, somewhere. And talk to them. Spread the news. Figure out small things. Do you know this happened? What is all of it? Waste of time and energy. So now, to prod the conversation, I told you, right? Technique. You have to talk about something that is meaningful to that person. So suppose if I am a studious student in the class and I am working all day, and then I am a little bit of a foodie. So Nirmal will come and tell me, what is there for lunch? And then I will look at him. And that's a good way to take or grab somebody's attention. But you lost yours and they took away your attention. So that is what Sophie is going to do over here. Again, her wild story. Nothing is real in her life. Everything is fake. And that is what sometimes is in our lives also. It's not that very real what we do. Everything is fake. We want to study. Some people will write big things on the board. Bus ek tu raji tha. So if bus ek tu raji tha, everything falls away. Yes or no? The greatest of the greatest people also say, if you focus on one thing, you get that one thing, all other things go away. Bus ek tu raji tha. What will leave? Everything else will leave. Only God will be there. Big goals. But we can I work on my 5 subjects so that he gets happy? Can I focus on my 5 teachers this year so that he gets happy? But we can't do that. Chalo. So she has to talk about somebody. So she talks about a footballer. Chalo.
I met Danny Casey, Sophie said. He looked around abruptly. Where?
So he does not believe, right? Where? On the TV. On the TV, you see him every day. I saw Virat Kohli. There are some people, stupid people, who spend 8, 10, 9,000 rupees, go to an IPL match just to have a glimpse of their favorite cricketer or just to show on the Instagram reel. And some of them, they want to do seva. That 8,000 rupees could be converted to some seva. Abruptly. Why? Because he does not believe. Chalo.
In the arcade, funnily enough. It's never true. I did too. You told that
Joe. So here it is a conversation. So the first line, who said? Sophie. The second line, who said? Geoff. The third line, who said? Sophie. Now, where did she see him? In the arcade. Now, arcade is, this is the 1980s story. So in those days, they did not have like home video games. They had these big giant machines, and they were put in a store, and then the store had different machines where you could play video games, and that was called the arcade. So young kids used to go there, play video games in the arcade. You could get coins which you could put, and then the game would turn on for a minute to 5, and you could play video games. And he had come because he was free. So like I saw Virat Kohli where? At a VR mall. He was roaming around. Does Virat Kohli shop at the VR mall? He was in the Zara store. What is Zara? Nothing for him. He might never step on the street and you see him. But we want to do that. We want to show people, oh, I saw this person on the street. નવરો હતો કંઈ કામ નહોતું તારા જેવો છે. So, do you think these people go out, so the matches are going on, do you think they roam around in the streets? Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. In the modern world, sometimes they do. You find some cricketers, they just step out of their hotel room, do something and go inside. And because there are cameras everywhere, people say, oh, they were roaming around on the streets. But do you think they would come out on a regular day and visit the mall? Do you think they can come out on a regular day and see a movie? No, they cannot. So how come this guy was roaming around? So will anybody believe this? They are roaming on the street. They are street dogs. They are free. And we want to become such people. You will not be able to roam around. Chalo. It's never true. Who says this? Why? Because she does not tell this story. Today Danny Casey, tomorrow Virat Kohli, next day somebody else. She makes such stories and goes to Geoff and talks to them about such silly stories, silly things in her head, so that Geoff would talk to her. Are you getting my point or not? Are you getting my point or not? And then Geoff says in fun, I did too on TV. I see him every day on TV. And then he says, did you tell dad? Now if she tells dad about this, dad will get angry. Because he knows that this girl is stupid. And dad is a practical man, but dad is a common person. You know, the biggest problem in this world right now is that the children cannot be smacked up, beaten up. Sometimes, you know, you don't need to be explained. You need just one slap, and then you need to know that this is what you need to do. But it's very hard these days. Your parents want us to do that all the time, but they can't do it for themselves. They'll come and tell me, sir, beat him up. नहीं पड़ेगा तो मार दो सर. पढ़ना चाहिए, क्यों नहीं पढ़ना चाहिए? But they don't want to do it for themselves. And it is hard. Why? Because we become too soft. We don't understand who is working for us and who is against us. Why? Because we are not working for ourselves. How do you come to know if this guy is working for you or against you? Only when you start working for yourself, you will understand कि हमारा favor में है क्या नहीं. Because the guys who are in your favor will say, do the work, buddy. Do the things. There are dreams, there are goals, you need to achieve them. Do them. But people who are against you will say, do what you want. your life. And then that will be easy and you will like those people. Why? Because you are not focused on yourself. Chalo. And as soon as the dad's name comes up, what will happen to her? She'll become stone cold. Why? Because dad may get angry. Because she is not just making this one story, she makes such stories all the time. Clear? Chalo.
She shook her head, stunned at his unawareness that he was always the first to share her secrets.
So she shook her head and restrained, did not say anything. And she's thinking in her head that this guy is stupid. I tell him all my secrets all the time. And he's the only one knowing my secrets. But is this a secret or this is a lie? And what are secrets? Sometimes we say, oh, I have a secret. I will tell you. Don't tell anybody. What are secrets? If you are living a good life, do you need any secret? Sahaj, your name Sahajta means there is no secret. Sahaj, very hard. Because Guru Hari, he is a Sahaj personality, no secret. In his room, he is the same. In the world, he is the same. In his mind, he is the same. When he is alone, he is the same. When he is with people, he is the same. What is that called? Sahajta. Then there are no lies. Hard. We have to think of our names. Arman. We have to fulfill the Armans of our parents. Everybody has a name. At least try to fulfill the meaning of that name in your lifetime. That will be enough. Some people have name of gods. Some gods have multiple names. Nilkant and Bholenath and what not. We can't fulfill our names in a lifetime. We want to do wrong things. So, for a Sahaj personality, is there a lie? No. Everything is open, out there. My life is out there in the open. So why do you have to, I will tell you a secret. You know Prajwal sir? What do you damn care about Prajwal sir? You're not caring about yourself. You don't know what you need to do. You damn think about how dare you think about me. You all can dare think about me. But that is not my concern. You are wasting your time and energy. Physics over here. You think about other people, Nirmal, you are wasting your time and energy all the time. All the freaking time. You look at the other person, you are wasting time and energy all the freaking time. Chalo.
I don't believe it.
Who says this? And this Sophie says where? In her head. Yes or no? Yes or no? ये मेरा भाई कुछ समझता ही नहीं है, बेवकूफ है, stupid है. I have to speak in Hindi. Stupid is, I tell him everything which is my secret. I could have not told you that I met Danny Kesik. Nobody is going to believe. This is your dream. This is your stupidity. You come and talk about this all day long. You say I want to do this in life. You don't. Sir, how do you come to know? Your actions. You sleep in the class. So I have dreams. I am going to make sure I do this. Boss, you can't do it. I look at your face and say, boss, you can't do it. At least you're not trying to do it right now. And then if you've not started, the journey is far. You can't do it. You can't do it like that. But she does not understand. Chalo, we'll finish this and we'll end over here.
There I was looking at the clothes in Roy's window.
Now, from the arcade, she went to the Royce's window. Now, Royce's window is maybe another fashion designer store. Yes or no? And why is she looking there? Because, of course, she can't have the street brands. She can't look at those. She has to look at all the sophisticated stuff, right, Krupesh? She has to look at all the big stuff. Yes or no? Will she look at the Bata store? Bata? Where's Prada, man? No Prada in our country. And don't even try. Make a label on your own and stick it. It's okay. It is okay. And we talked about that, right? What does Mark Zuckerberg wear? What does Mukesh Ambani wear? We wear Mumbai Indians. He does not wear Mumbai Indians. It might cost 8,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees. He doesn't wear it. So, but he can. But sir, why? But sir, his family, whatever they do. I'm not against them. I'm just talking about putting sense into your head and trying to say you need to focus. Chalo.
When someone came and stood beside me, and I looked around, and who should it be but Danny Castle?
Street dog, right? This guy is a street dog, right? So you become a celebrity and then you are a street dog, right? Yes or no? A man, they say, and then that is why he said a man's gotta do. Dog. What a man's gotta your language. But we don't want to be that person who wants to do the things for themselves. I'll stop over here and we'll take it from here tomorrow.